with day 3 of SEC Media Days about to get underway, and Nick Saban about to talk in the next hour or two, I believe, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about quarterback Bryce Young and why I think he'll be able to pick up right where the Alabama offense left off, and why I think he'll be able to be a star and be successful relatively soon, as opposed to taking a few games to get settled in. And I think it has a lot to do with his surrounding cast. So I think he's uber talented. He's got a ton of potential. He's going to be a star, and it's probably going to happen this year and relatively soon. But I think a lot of that's going to have to do with his surrounding cast and him being able to get kind of broken in, for lack of better terms, relatively quickly, as opposed to waiting throughout the year and developing a process. Now, he will develop, he will get better, but I think we'll see a very good version of Bryce Young right off the bat because of the surrounding cast. And before we dive into his surrounding cast, I just want to encourage you to consider subscribing to this channel if you like any quarterback-related content, as long as it's something to do with the quarterback position. It is fair game on this channel. So we're going to look at some film of several of his kind of top guys that he'll be throwing to this year and why I think he'll be so successful. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the guys that we don't have film on, okay? Because there's several guys that are going to be freshmen that we saw in the spring game. So of course we have Hall coming in, who's going to be he could be one of their top guys used this year, but I think he's an uber talented guy. And then we have Javon Baker and Trayshawn Holden as well, who are guys we don't have film of, or at least I didn't break down any film of them, but those guys are going to be talented and only going to help Bryce Young. And if you want more on those guys and kind of more on the guys we're not going to talk about today, I would encourage you to go over to Around the Sports YouTube channel, run by Ty Hayes. He's awesome, puts out great content, a lot of Alabama content as well, but any college football content. So go check that out, but he'll have more detail on the guys we're not talking about today. So let's talk about, of course, John Metchi. He's going to be the first receiver we watch, and he can do so many different things well, but I want you to watch him get off the line of scrimmage against press man, against 8 to 10 yard zones. He's able to beat DBs regardless where they line up as, and he's able to adjust the ball and adjust his route depending on the DB. Next, we're going to look at Jameson Williams, a talented receiver from Ohio State, because he's also going to add an element of taking the top off the defense, which is going to open up everything underneath. And then Jalil Billingsley, someone we're going to watch as well, break down a few clips of him because he runs like a receiver. I think he's going to be very dangerous in Bill O'Brien's offense, and I think Bryce Young is going to have a lot of comfort throwing to a tight end like that who runs like a receiver and can get open against multiple different personnel. So those are the three guys we're going to watch today, and kind of the main reasons why I think Bryce Young can be so successful right off the bat. And of course, there's more guys than just those three guys, and we're not even talking about the running back. So again, go check out the Around the Sports YouTube channel if you want more detail. But let's go ahead and dive into the film of the three guys I just mentioned. So here's John Metchi lined up at the top of the screen. Just a simple go route. A lot of good things he does well, though, which we'll break down in a second. So it's press man coverage from the A&M corner. Just beats him deep and is able to separate him once the ball is in the air. And goes for a touchdown here. So the few things I want to take away from are, one, his release. So we have press man. Now, the DB doesn't try to jam him at the line of scrimmage, but he still does a good job getting off the line of scrimmage. Mac Jones throws it now. So right now you're taught as a quarterback, if your receiver is even with the DB on a go route, then we say he's leaving. So if he's even, he's leaving. Mac Jones sees that, makes a good ball here, and then watch the separation from Metchi when the ball is in the air, and then he can't be caught here. So good route from Metchi, and something that Bryce Young will be able to utilize a ton when he's on the outside, being able to throw that go route. So here we got John Metchi again, top of the screen. Notice press man coverage again, and of course he's going to win this battle here. Let's watch the play real quick, and then we'll kind of break down why. Got a safety blitz going on. So good job by Mac Jones too to move in the pocket. Good catch too. But let's kind of watch this route here. It's a hell of a route, and it's probably some type of option route. So he probably has the option to go seam, corner, or even post here, for the simple fact there's nothing going deep around the middle of the field. So depending on what the DB is doing will depend on what Metchi does in this route here. So the DB is has some inside or outside technique coverage, so he's kind of eliminating the out route there. And then you can see Metchi adjust to go kind of more seam route. As Jones throws it, then he's able to adjust the ball and make a good catch. So good things shown there by Metchi, something that Bryce Young will, of course, love. I guess let's go ahead and watch this angle, see if we get a good view of the catch. But the ability to adjust the ball, one, and then adjust the route, two, is only going to help the quarterback and only going to help Bryce Young as he gets broken in. Good job there. So here we have Metchi lined up in the slots. Now eventually he will become the outside receiver, as we see I think Jalen Waddle go in motion here. Let's watch the play, and we'll kind of break it down. But notice how he beats his defender in a different way than the past two plays. It is a cover two zone here that gets busted actually by the safety. But it looks like the top corner is actually in man as well. So look to have a man on the outside. He's about 8-9 yards off the last scrimmage, and Metchi's able to beat the defender off the DB off the line of scrimmage. Even though he's like 8 or 9 yards off, he's still able to beat him deep for a deep post. And we look like we got some cover 2 here. Boom. The safety's supposed to come here. He bites down this crossing route, leaving this position wide open, and the DB can't hang with Metchi here. So again, Metchi's showing his versatility to be able to beat the defender, even when he's playing 8-9 yards off the line of scrimmage, and that's not even close. So Bryce Young will definitely welcome having a receiver that wide open. So here we have Jameson Williams at the bottom of the screen, the transfer from Ohio State, who I think is going to be used a ton by Alabama this year, and the ability to take off the top. Let's watch him here. It's going to be a touchdown. Look, the defender's about 7-8 yards off line scrimmage. Good quick move. Justin Fields throws a good ball, able to beat him deep. So I imagine Bryce Young welcoming that speed and the ability to take the top off. When you pair that with John Metchi, a lot of good potential schemes you can develop. But look, the DB's already starting 7-ish, 8 yards off line of scrimmage. One jab foot to the left. Gets the DB off just by enough, and then the speed, and the DB is not able to recover, and then neither is the safety coming over the middle. Let's watch the end zone angle as well, even though you can't see the whole play when we watch it. Let's see if we can get to it. But I think you'll be able to see Jameson Williams pull-away speed, which will pair very well with John Metchi and the rest of the Alabama offense. Big-time target for Bryce Young. So here's Jameson Williams at the bottom of the screen. Touchdown against Rutgers. Nothing crazy here. It's actually blown coverage, but still a good example of a nice, smooth route, and just the Alabama fans being creative and imagining how he'll be able to be used in this Alabama offense. And Bryce Young, of course, being happy to throw someone this wide open down the field. Jameson Williams there. So here we have tight end Jalil Billingsley for Alabama catching a touchdown pass. He gets pretty wide open, but just a very smooth route runner. He looks like a receiver running here. He's coming from across the middle. Nice, easy throw. Of course, he's wide open. So not much of a breakdown there. But we'll be able to see from this point of view that he looks like a receiver running. And with the new OC, Bill O'Brien, I think he's definitely going to be able to use Billingsley and use his athleticism, whether it's the slot, tight end, whatever it may be, to get open. We can't even see it. But again, good, talented, athletic tight end. So here's another touchdown by tight end Jalil Billingsley. Again, gets wide open here, just kind of runs through zone. We'll see for a touchdown. But again, just watch his route running and how he looks like a receiver here. I think you'll see some creative plays, and I think some big-time mismatches on Billingsley this year. I think he can have a huge year with Bryce Young at the quarterback position, and with Bill O'Brien coming in as their OC, we're going to watch him kind of come wide open here. Easy play there, but a lot of potential in this offense. So again, just a few clips, but we saw several different things of why I think Bryce Young will be able to get broken in relatively smoothly because of these talented guys around him. With John Metchi being able to line up wherever and get open against any type of defense, with Jameson Williams being able to take off the top of the defense to open up underneath stuff, and then of course Jalil Billingsley, he's so versatile. I think he's going to have a huge year this year because of Bill O'Brien's offense. And for Bryce Young to be able to rely on that kind of middle of the field option with Billingsley. And then, of course, the guys we didn't even talk about or dive into are only going to help. So, again, just a few clips that show what each guy does well. And you can kind of just imagine, be creative, how they will be used and how Bryce Young will be able to get broken in a smooth manner, if you will. So I want to hear from you, though. What do you think about Bryce Young's 2021 season? How do you think it will go? What guys did I not talk about that you think will only add benefit to Bryce Young in the Alabama offense? And we'll see you next time on our next quarterback-related video.